In this video, we are making Crixa Pavé Vergiate, a moist, light, flourless chocolate cake. So I've got pretty good simmer, and I'm just keeping this hot. I've got the pan prepped, and I've got some water heated. I'm just going to add, I'm going to give it the full quarter cup of hot water here. And whisk that in. I don't know if you can notice, but whisking in the water thickens the chocolate ever so slightly, giving it more body, and gives us more to work with when we're going to fold in those egg whites. I like to use a spray. I'm just used to it. And I'm really getting the corners there at the top. You can also just use a pastry brush with oil. Roughly centering it. Going in here, the corners. Goes up. Here. And these sides, I'm just going to fold them down. Increase this a little bit. You're going to want this length later, but we don't want it now. Into the corners. I'm going to come back and oil this side here. If you get oil on the rest of the paper, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, it's fine. I just prepped the pan and I was using oil, so I've washed my hand again to make sure that I don't have oil on my fingers because I'm about to separate the eggs. And I don't want any oil in the egg whites. I'm going to break the eggs into the measuring cup. And this is a nice yolk here. Yolk going in the bowl. On some eggs, the Chilazi can be really thick. Okay, look at this. If it's much bigger than this, this is even not good. I'm going to take that off. If you're not confident in your egg separating skills, or you're not confident in the quality of the eggs that you're using, do it over the bowl like this. Do one egg at a time. When it looks clean, transfer the egg whites here, okay? And again, I'm looking here mostly to just make sure that my egg yolks are intact, and then I'm removing any really big bits of Chilazi I see. And why? Why do we remove the Chilazi? The really thick ones, when they cook up, are going to be like rubber bands or even like string where you can pull it out of your cake. It is unpleasant to eat. It looks ugly. Don't do it. Just take them out. I put my sugar in this. Got my vanilla in with the egg whites. And there you go. What I'm looking for is the egg to get opaque and starting to get frothy. If you can see the streak starting to show around the edges of the bowl. There, you can see it. The whip is starting to leave marks in the foam. I'm going to go ahead and start adding my sugar. So streaking here around the edges. See here how the egg whites are starting to gather in the middle. That's a good indication that we're getting close to where we want to be. And see how schlumpy this is? It's soft. It won't even really hold a peak. We're going to take it a little bit stiffer. Okay, let's take a look at that. Look here. See how it's starting to gather up the tines of the whip. That's good. That's what we're looking for. Here, I'm not going to see so much. Look at that. It's not really holding a peak, but it'll hold a soft shape in the bowl. We're going to put it back and we're going to add our egg yolks. I'm trying to add it in. I don't want it mixing so fast that it goes to the bottom of the bowl. And that's it. You can see there's still unincorporated egg white in the center. You're done. It's not completely incorporated. There's still some areas of unincorporated egg white. I'm just checking that there's no globs of egg yolk, and in we go. Just onto the top. This is straight off the bain-marie, straight off the heat. So our chocolate is good and hot. Not hot, hot. Very warm. Okay, there we go. We're gonna start folding it in. I'm really scraping against the bottom of the bowl. You can see the motion here, pulling up that chocolate. The chocolate's pulled on the bottom. We really want to pull it up, fold it over. Okay. Mix it up a little bit. Change left, right, and direction. If you do the same motion over and over again, you always will miss something. So change it up. Okay, I'm going to scrape around the sides. And look at this. There's a little bit of chocolate there. And now it looks pretty even. There's another streak. We don't want it to be completely homogeneous. It doesn't have to be. But that looks right. Okay, now we're going to pour it in our pan. All right, here we go. This is the consistency we want. We want it to be pourable. If your chocolate is too cold, it's liquid, but it's cold. Once the cold egg whites hit it, it's going to turn into a mousse. And that's harder to pour, and it will also change the consistency of the baked cake. I'm just going to smooth it a wee bit to get out some of those bubbles. And this is ready for the oven. All right, I'm just going to check for doneness. And I'm going to give that a couple more minutes. All right. Okay, I'm going to test this again. I gave it another 3 minutes. And see, little bit of crumb. That's perfect. We're done. Do you remember what it looked like when we put it in the cake pan? It was just below the level of the top, and now it's all nice and domed. We're going to leave it somewhere to cool at room temperature gently. Move it as little as possible. Then we're going to put it in the refrigerator overnight. All right, for depanning this, the first thing I want to do is run a thin bladed knife, pressing right against the wall here. I'm going to just scrape along both sides. Then I do like to loosen it. Gently. This is fresh from the refrigerator, so it's as cold as it's going to get. All right, see how that just loosens up? And I'm going to invert it. Holding down the paper. There we go. And just carefully peel it off. And your platter or your board on top. And invert it again. Okay. So sometimes you'll notice that the corners can break off. This is probably the most fragile part of the cake. And you can gently nudge them back into place. Let me give it a little vanilla powdered sugar here. And that's pavé. To cut this, it's best to use hot water. And I'm going to start by cutting down the center. You can use a ruler if you want to get exact. I'm just eyeballing it. Okay. All right.